And I could see a potential of it going one or two ways. Either going like a Fulham and we get the 3 points, we play really well, or it going, not in our favour at all, Really hoping it's the former rather than the latter. But yeah, look, I'm a bit more confident about this one than I was about Spurs. I think we can get something. We'll have to be on our A game, but I think we can get something from it. Like I say, Wolves haven't won in a couple in the league. I think it's been 1 point in 3 for them. It was a draw against Burnley. Lost to West Ham and Aston Villa in that time. So hopefully we can, add to that loss streak or that no-win streak for them. Keep that ticking. That'll be, really, really good for us. Yeah, we need the win today with Luton now back on level points with us. They travel to Man City, and I hope they get absolutely trounced. I used to like Luton, and I say I don't like them. That's probably not true. They're relegation rivals, so obviously we don't want them to do well. Their fans give it the big one on Twitter, so it'll be lovely to see them go to the Etihad and get an absolute trouncing. That would be lovely to see. As long as we get points on our side of things, do our side of the bargain. In terms of a starting 11 for me, then I think you go pretty much same, really. If we can, against Tottenham and Fulham, the team looked really good in the first half against Spurs, dropped off in the second, but you're away at Tottenham Hotspur, it's not really that easy to keep going, I suppose. So it was Sells in goal, got save of the season. No, he didn't. Save of the month for last month with that save against Liverpool. He's been solid for me. I wouldn't drop him for the rest of the season if that's possible. Back four, I think I'll probably go with the same. Williams and Aina as fullbacks, Omar Mamadeli and Murillo as centre-halves. I think that's really good for us. Offers us a lot of dynamism and pace. A bit dynamic in the way that Murillo and Omar Mamadeli could step out and switch and cover for each other and stuff like that. By the time the season ends, Murillo's going to have scored one of those screamers. You've just got to say he's tried it a good few times now and got close against Spurs, so it'll be lovely to see something like that pull off. Yeah, it'll be great. Two in front then, I'd like to see Sangare start. I would like to see Sangare start, but I think it's key that we keep going with what we know has worked over the last couple of weeks. Yates should have got something. I mean, he got punched by Madison, and the referee said nothing was happening, which is very frustrating. But I think Yates is probably the only player I might sub out. He got a yellow card so early against Spurs that I thought he's gonna get a red. Something's gonna happen. He didn't, luckily, but it was one of them ones where you're kind of like kind of thing every time he went in for a tackle. He's the only one I might drop for Sangare, but I think he works well with Danilo. Danilo can be a bit more creative, and Yates is not afraid to get back and stay back and get stuck in if he needs to. The three behind the striker, then he's got to be Gibson, White, Hudson-Odoi, and Elanga. Pace on the wings, the ability to cut in on the wings, have a go. Gibbs White, who will be loving an opportunity to play against Wolves again. You saw what happened in the League Cup last season against them. He loves it. He absolutely loves it. So hopefully it's another incredible display like he put in against Fulham, and he could orchestrate a 3-point win. And then up front, probably Chris Wood for me. I've heard that Nuno has said that there's a potential that Awoniyi might be back. I don't know. But Chris Wood is in a good run of scoring form. I know he missed a couple of chances against Tottenham, but everyone's human. And hopefully he can go and push on and get some more goals to his account in this one. Score line for me will be Forest 2, Wolves 0. I fancy us today. I really fancy us. Gibbs White and Chris Wood to get on the score sheet for me. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button, subscribe if you are new around here. Let us know in the comment section down below what your thoughts are on the game, who you want to see start, who you think will score the score line, all that good stuff. Thank you for watching, and come on, you Reds. How's it going, Talk Forest TV? My name is Jack, and welcome to my preview for Nottingham Forest versus Wolverhampton Wanderers, taking place at the City. Get out of the way. At the City Ground. There we go. Today. So, Wolves, just having a look at their recent form. They're 3 league games without a win, 4 in all competitions if you're counting, you should count the Coventry game in the FA Cup. That was an absolutely incredible match. Like, oh my gosh. Everything. It had absolutely everything. Yeah, so Wolves are one of those teams, sort of in a bit of a category where they're sort of along with like Fulham and, you know, I'll maybe put Palace in there a little bit, but not sure. They're sort of one of those teams that kind of they will have have a really good patch of the season, and then once they're sort of okay, they'll kind of just plod along and see what they can do. Go on a little bit of a poor run, but it doesn't really drag them into a relegation scrap too much because of the work they've already done in the season, and they're okay. It's like I saw a tweet where someone said that Fulham players hit 39 points in March, then just go on the beach. And it's a little bit like that with Wolves, I think. They run a little bit of a poor run of form, but it's not the end of the world. They'll be fine. They're just, like Gary O'Neill's not going to be under any threat or anything like that. They'll be okay. They'll get to the end of the season. They'll be absolutely fine. Doesn't mean, though, they're not a tough opposition. They're a difficult team to play against because Gary O'Neill, I think, has done a really, really good job. I give him a lot of credit, Gary O'Neill. Did a really good job with Bournemouth last season and has then sort of been, well, I don't know if he was sacked by the club or they just decided not to renew his contract. But they opted for Iraola and he went to Wolves and he's done really well. He has done really, really well. Got them to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, which is a good achievement. And he's got them playing some good stuff. They've got some really good players in their side, players who can cause them problems. He's doing quite well, Gary O'Neill, and he's a good young, hungry manager who can, go on and maybe in the future manage England. Who knows? I don't know. But he's got a chance of moving it up the pyramid a little bit, as you say. And yeah, look, I rate him. I think he's quite a good manager. For them, they're danger men. Someone who I really like for Wolves, someone who really has caught my eye of late, and that's Ryan Aït-Nouri. He played really well in that Coventry match. Scored a goal, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. He either got a goal or assist. I can't quite remember. I'm pretty sure he did score. But he's looked really good down that left-hand side. He's a real handful. Not afraid to get forward. He can get back and do the defensive duties as well. He's quite young as well, and I think he's got a really good potential on him. I think Man City are quite interested in him for that left-hand side. I know City haven't really had a left back for a while, and I think he could do a good job there. So he's going to have to be someone that we really keep our eye on. He's a player that's not afraid to get forward, and I often see him sort of like. He just pops up somewhere and you're kind of like, how on earth has he just got there? So we're going to have to keep our eye on that and hopefully we can deal with the threat that he's going to show us. But yeah, Wolves are a very good side. Tommy Doyle, I quite like him. He's on the books at Man City on loan at Wolves. João Gomez as well, another good player. They've got a good side, Wolves. They have got a good side. I think one problem with Wolves is, though, they kind of need a potent striker. They had Raul Jimenez for a while, and he was banging the goals in under big man Nuno. Got his head injury and never really captured his form at Wolves, and ended up obviously going to Fulham. They have visited Sasa Kalajdzic. Not really, had the desired effect. They have Matthias Cunha and Paulo Sarabia. Sorry, I don't know what I said there. Who, have chipped in with the goals. Hwang Chan as well. But they've kind of, Hwang Chan's had his injury issues. Cunha, I don't know if I would have him as like your sole main striker. He's more of a creative guy in behind, I would say. So if they could get that sorted, if they can keep Hwang Chan fit, if they could get maybe another striker to complement him, they could be looking upwards. They really could. Nuno facing his old club. I think it's it's definitely the first time under Forest that he's played against Wolves. I'm not sure if he got to play against Wolves as the manager of Spurs in his short tenure there. I think he only had about 2 months or so, one manager of the month, and then the next month he was gone. But I don't know. He had an absolutely just an unbelievable time at Wolves. Got them up for the champ. Got them into the Europa League. He's a legend at the Molineux, and rightly so. So I wonder what reception they'll give him. They'll probably give him a bit of applause before the game, and then they'll be hoping with everything they've got that he fails in the next 90 minutes. For us then, Tottenham was the last game we played on Sunday. I think it was an interesting one that we started like the first half we played really really well, and Chris Wood scored and should have scored a second, hammered it off the post from about 2 centimetres out. Um, you could see what he was trying to do. You could see what he was trying to do. Uh, he was just trying to give it just power it into the near post, and well, he actually did power it into the near post. So yeah. But then second half, we just kind of I don't know what it was, whether Nuno told us to drop off a little bit to try and hold on to the draw for a bit longer, then maybe the latter parts of the game go for it a bit. I don't know. But we kind of just we looked a bit lacklustre, and were the balls that we were being 50-50 for in the first half, it was going more, 40-60 in favour of Tottenham, and there was some other thing. I just sort of we looked like we lacked a little bit of energy that we had in that first half, and today we're going to need that energy all game, and I think our home crowd will provide that a little bit. I think being at home, obviously suits Forest. Away from home, again, we've been poor this season. But at home, that's where we really look to try and get all the points that we can. And we need to make it an atmosphere that will help us do that, help get the players over the line. You look at Fulham last week, and that was exactly what happened.